Yeah, Upstate Cats. That sounded good. That was dope. That was fresh. That was nice.
I'm just gonna sit here laid back to this nice mellow beat.
Yo.
Some smooth lyrics.
Now, black people, we have got to do better. We have got to stop ostracizing. We have got to stop putting each other down. We got to stop treating each other dirty. And I'm personally vested, right, in these two new guests we have coming up because
why is that?
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
In high school, we used to go in high school, right? And we would get your meal,
right?
And then you would sit down. Then there was a game.
But what table could you sit at?
You see, there you go. I was kind of compromised when it came to a particular game. They called me the re-nigga. Okay? That was my name.
Yep.
The re-nigga. And so, with that being said...
That's not a good name to go by.
It's not. It's not
for a lot of reasons, that's not who you want to be.
Reasons.
So, I'm really hoping that our next two guests can assist me, can help me elevate my game. These people with .com Enterprises. I'm talking about Kevin Brown. I'm talking about Grizz Chapman. They will elevate the game of spades. Can we have an on-point radio clap off?
Thank you. Good morning.
As I run a Boston on this interview. Let's go. Yeah. All right. So, how did you guys even get into
welcome, guys,
taking spades to the next level?
Okay, well, this is something that's been a passion of mine. This is Kevin Brown, .com.
Hey, Kevin.
And as you know, me and Grizz, we go way back from 30 Rock days together.
Love it.
But when I was a kid, my father taught me how to play the game of spades, right? Everybody learned at their different places, whether it was college, whether it was at home, at the cookout, whether it was in prison. You learn wherever you learn, right? So my father taught me how to play this game. And I have I'm one of those guys where I consider myself a visionary, right? I come up with these thoughts, these ideas, and nothing can hold me back from turning my visions into a reality. Wow. So if you can remember a few years ago, decades ago, whatever, when the game of Texas Hold'em started popping up on TV all over the place, what they did was they elevated the game of poker because camera technology changed, where they got these micro cameras and you can put the cameras in the table and you can watch the game and make the game into a sport. So I watched this game and I said, I always felt like there was a game that was cultural to us that we should be able to elevate and turn into a entertaining or a sporting event. So that's where it came from.
Brilliant.
I always wanted to elevate the game and not just be about the antics and the trash talking, but the strategy of the game. Spades is a strategic game. And spades is a metaphor for life, right?
You're saying
Give
that
us
I'm
a little
failing at life?
clearly, as a non-renegger, clearly tell me, what is the strategy that you find when you have a player that may be new?
Well, I have one.
Speaking of which,
yes, I don't play spades, no. But I will learn. Though.
He doesn't play spades yet, but he's my partner. We
in life.
Yes. We were put together on 30 Rock, and we both from around the way. We both from our separate hoods. I claim the Bronx. Where you claiming? What's
Brooklyn all day.
Okay, so he claimed Brooklyn. I claim the Bronx. I went to high school in Brooklyn. I went to Brooklyn Tech. Shout out to Brooklyn
Whoa,
Tech.
wait a minute! Stop the presses, son! Yo, headphones off. Salute. Tech night, baby.
Oh, okay.
Oh, man. Oh, then you know about me then.
So
I'm
I'll
dude
say
who couldn't play spades.
that kid who can sit at your table, there he is right there.
I feel like I do.
Hey, what year?
Grizz.
I think I graduated in 1980. So
Oh,
I'm probably way before
82.
you. Okay.
Yeah, so we might have crossed paths.
Maybe.
You had the
Please say-
basketball team.
Grizz, please say you went to LaGuardia High School.
He looked like Boys and Girls High over
Please
there.
say you went to LaGuardia High
I
School.
went to FDR.
Oh, okay.
From FDR.
Okay. And you graduated in 1989 with me? No. Okay, I just tried to.
I'm on a different bus.
Oh, okay.
I'm on a different bus.
Okay.
I was
Well, we
in the
like black.
90s.
We like black together. We like this.
I was
Right.
in the 90s.
Oh, really? You graduated? Wow. So this is awesome. So in understanding, right, that I noticed that when you play spades, that if your partner, y'all don't sync, like off the, what is this, the card table, it's very hard to sync in the game, right? And so how do you attribute that connection?
Well, I'll tell you what, speaking of connection,
very important.
That's been one of our missions as we elevate the game, because spades is not played in any organized level. Right?
That's true.
There are no national spades tournaments or rankings around the country. But people don't know this, but I believe I'm one of the top 3 spades players in the United States.
Do you really believe
That's
that?
What I believe, right? That's what I believe.
That is part of spades talking, right?
That's what I believe.
You need to believe that. That's what he believes.
You need to believe that.
So,
you sit at the table.
Right, that's a part of spades.
So if you can remember when you first witnessed the thing in your life, remember first witnessing the internet or first witnessing cell phones. We are now first witnessing the elevation of spades. So I'm talking trash. I'm saying I believe in one of the top 3 players in the country, but what we're trying to do with Spades Fest is find the top players
That's awesome.
in the country. Okay, so we're not just looking for people who know how to play a little bit, but they prefer taboo, or know how to play a little bit, but they prefer Uno. We're not looking for those. We're looking for those spades players that make other spades players hate playing spades because they go too far.
You want
They
Aunt
take-
Hattie.
we
You want my Aunt Hattie.
We want Aunt Hattie.
Are you coming in as an individual, or are you sign up as teams?
We prefer teams because now you have the chemistry
bring your partner with
your
you.
partner. But we're taking it. So this is we're organizing a thing that's been a part of our culture, but it's never been organized, right? So I'll tell you one of the issues we have. For example, we do sort of exclusive spades tournaments every week. But what people don't know is, in elevating the game, when we say the tournament is a 2 o'clock tournament, you have to be there at 2 o'clock,
start the
1:30 to start the tournament. People come at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, like it's a cookout or something, right? So we have to train people that, you know how people can be, right? So we have to train people
Talking
that
about,
when
where's
we
my card?
organize this thing, it's really organized, you know? It's so in elevating it, we have to make it a little more professional. We have referees with the striped shirts walking around.
Oh, word.
Prizes when
We have prizes. We have sponsors. It's Spades Fest at anything. If you it's okay. Anybody that has a YouTube channel, we need you to go to YouTube, find Spades Fest or Original Spades Fest TV, and subscribe to our channel. That's the biggest thing. But you can find us on every platform, on Facebook, Twitter,
So
Instagram.
what are we watching? Are we watching you play spades? Like, what is this?
It's a number of things. So we are building content as far as the channel goes, but we're filming the tournaments. So we have commentators.
Oh.
We have announcers.
Okay.
We're doing it like a sporting event.
Y'all going to be official tissue.
This is we're doing it super official, right? We have workshops for new players so new people can learn. We're
Why
also,
we always look at him when it's like,
So, Mr. Chapman,
you got
question
some
for
other
you.
things going on, I'm sure.
Yeah. Mr. Chapman, question for you. How'd you get the name Grizz?
look at him.
I got the name Grizz a long time ago when I used to do club security and bouncing and bodyguarding and all the other good stuff. And one night, I picked these 2 dudes up together and threw them out. And then ever since then,
You say it all matter of fact. Like I picked these 2 guys up at one time.
yeah, it was light. I mean, I was.
Oh, he said it was light work, you know.
But I was, I was a different time though. I
Yeah,
was
I
21, 20 years old. Now it's a different.
He's
ball
keeping it
game
on
now.
the humble. If you've ever been to a spot called Sue's Rendezvous,
No, that's you?
Wow.
he's the dude at
Wait,
the
I'm
door
sorry. I
at
don't know him. I've
Sue's
never saw him
Rendezvous.
before. I've never seen this man before.
He was Cat Williams' body man for
Yeah.
8 years. So
Yeah,
as
could've-
Cat
That's
Williams
awesome.
was blowing up, he was protecting Cat
Yeah,
Williams'
could've-
life.
So when
as
he was in
was
Harlem
blowing
with the
up.
Lambie, that was you. Okay.
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible.
I got memories. I got
So,
memories.
as a non-spades player, what's your interest in this project?
Wait, that's the N
I'm sorry.
Spades player. NSP. NSP. As an NSP. We're going to make it official.
As a spades rookie
You sat there
in your
and-
rookie season in Spades
So funny.
Fest.
Well, basically, I don't want to be shunned from the barbecues, and I want to be able to sit at the table now and talk garbage with everybody else, And it's been so many years that I've been on the outside of the the
of
bubble.
the party.
You know, and I want to be in the bubble now.
Thank you. Okay. Peer pressure is something else, isn't it, Grizz?
He doesn't know this, right? So we are also doing the Uno's Invitational, right? Because there are a lot of people, especially young people.
See, he's doing that for me. You see that?
For us.
You see how you said the
Can
Uno?
you do pile-ups?
See, so we're working out the nuances of the rules, right? Because there's a lot of young people.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
rules of Uno.
But Uno is a game that's elevated too.
That's
There's a lot
right.
of young people, so I want to
That's
bridge
right.
the gap between the young and the old and the OGs. So we're doing
Okay.
the Uno's Invitational. So he doesn't know that we're setting up a Uno's tournament. And I'm
Well, I
rounding
am
up-
the best Uno player.
Not one of the three. Not
and
the
I'm
top three.
rounding up some of the top Uno
my God.
players in my neighborhood. So I have a 10-year-old. I have a 12-year-old.
Wait a minute, wait.
And I will beat all of them.
I have a 17-year-old.
And I'm going to beat all
And
of
we're
them.
going to videotape this contest, and we're going to see how skilled he is at Uno.
Uno
Hold
is
up,
definitely
I'm
a
nice at Uno
prerequisite.
too, though.
Uno is definitely a prerequisite for spades.
Okay,
Yes,
you come on
It's
down.
definitely a prerequisite. If you can speak well and articulate
Absolutely.
and kill them hard, you can definitely move up to the table, spades table.
Absolutely. So these are things that we're focusing on as far as elevating the game, right? Because none of these, even though people have a lot of fun with these games, none of these games have ever been elevated to the level that I'm speaking about, right? So me and this guy, when we met, we worked for NBC. There was a whole lot of suits and bosses that were dictating you know, what we do every day. But now we're our own bosses, right? We're the G's, we're the
fantastic.
CEOs. So I invited him down
Yes.
to be a guest host. He was my first celebrity guest host when we did our talk show.
Yes.
But then what I was really trying to do was see if he was interested. Because I wanted him to
Right,
be
you start
there.
off, that's what you do. Right,
So,
yeah.
but he didn't know. He didn't know I was setting him up.
Never
He didn't
do,
know I was
never
setting him
do,
up.
never
So I was
do,
like,
never
yeah,
do.
come on down and just be my guest and see where. And after he saw it, he saw how much fun it was.
Sure.
And I was like, hey, I need a partner.
Right.
You want to be down? And
Because
here we
everybody can't be your partner.
Everybody, no. So he was out of town. He was out of town for the holidays.
Yeah.
So we have. I'm also from the projects in the Bronx, right? So
Okay.
I have old school hip hop roots. Oh, applause for the Bronx. Yes, my hip project, right? So I have old school hip hop roots. From if you're a certain age, hip hop was being developed out our windows.
Sure,
while we were growing up, right?
absolutely.
So a friend of mine manages this iconic rapper named CL Smooth.
Kind of heard of
We
him.
reminisce over you, right?
Yeah.
So while Grizz was out of town, CL Smooth,
Which I'm mad I missed.
Oh my
CL
gosh.
Smooth filled in for him
Wow.
and was the celebrity guest host that day. So it was just one of those things where it just worked out accidentally. So we are finding out that Spades is a platform
It's definitely
to merge our
bring
culture.
people together.
Sure.
But we have
Bring people
we
together,
want to
yes.
pause for 1 second
No
because I
problem.
believe we have.
No.
Oh, okay, well, we had somebody, but they'll call back. But you just said something that was real. This is an opportunity to elevate not only the spades game, but you're going to bring all these people together in our culture. What advantage are you going to take of it? Have you thought about that too? I mean, so
Well-
you got all these people together. What you going to do?
Right, you're the visionary. What's the big picture?
Not just some chicken, right? You're going to do some other stuff, right?
No. Well, it's one of those things where what I'm learning
Yeah.
is I'm an old school promoter too. So I remember putting flyers out on the streets when you're doing your events and whatever, going hand to hand and whatever. But now we have this internet.
Yeah.
And
That's
I'm
true.
just like our kids get the internet, and I still there's certain things about the internet my brain still can't grasp.
That's where I come in at.
Oh, that's okay.
So when you're building,
It's a
back
lot.
25 years ago, if you just wanted to do space tournaments, you just round up some people, you do space tournaments, and it is what it is. But now you have to get the domain names and the social media
ridiculous.
platforms, and you have to build the content, and you have to do the podcasts and the
Yeah.
whatever.
And you got to keep doing it.
you have to keep doing
So
it.
I think we still have a guest, a caller. Hi, you're on OnPoint Experience. How are you doing, caller? Welcome on. Hello.
Hello, I'm here.
Hi, how you doing? You're on live. You're on the air.
Oh, cool. I wanted to ask about when are the games going to be open up to the public? Are they going to have any type of meetups? Like, how can people find out about the Spades games?
You see the term she used, meetup?
Meetup. That's today.
something that I just learned about, the meetup.
Grizz,
so
what's
there's
that?
this thing called meetup. You familiar with meetups?
No, I don't.
Okay,
I'm gonna
Thank
do
you,
it right now.
thank you so much, caller.
Thank you, caller. I thought baby mama was calling for something.
Because you never know. We always try to to listen before.
So yes, there's
We
this thing
protect
called
you.
meetup.com where you post your meetups and
Sure.
you get people, like-minded people, and you invite them to the group and whatever. So and next month, as a matter of fact, we're doing our first meetup.
Can't
Spades
wait.
meetup.
Can we
exclusive
come?
Spades meetup. Yes, you can. You
Do I
got
have
go
to
to
bring
the
a
website.
partner?
You don't have to bring a partner because
Okay.
we
I could be your partner, Grizz. I can elevate you.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it.
I could elevate you. If CL Smooth come, you got me. Okay.
I got you. I got you. I appreciate the help. I'm gonna need it.
I got you. I got you.
It's a ruthless game out there.
Listen,
Once you sit down at that
I've
table,
lost
it gets
friends.
real
Listen,
fast.
my very,
Oh, no, it is very
my
real.
very first experience, right?
don't play.
These guys tried to teach me, and I felt because I didn't know nothing, so I felt the aggravation across the table.
Man, if you
It was so
misbid,
It's a vicious game.
It was so
if you
intense.
say you got two and you come through four, like what you doing? It's real.
If you cut
Oh my
your
God.
own partner,
Your own. You said
forget
it. You said it.
I felt like,
That's the
If
worst.
I'm
okay,
rolling,
let's stop.
I'm rolling. Right.
If I lose 3 books
Let's
behind
take a
some
break.
madness, it's a problem.
Yeah.
You might have to
If
get
I'm
up off my
rolling
table
with my
They're
queen
very
of
angry at
hearts,
me.
and you come in there, and I'm winning, and you come with a spade.
and take it. Oh my God.
Right.
That look, like the look.
Yes. And,
What's the look?
And
The look.
you go to our Instagram. We
I
have a
can
whole
see
bunch
you.
of
I can
faces.
see you
We got a
making
whole
that
bunch
look.
of
I can see you
faces and
making a look.
memes, right? But you sense the energy that happens just by talking about
Oh
the
yeah.
game, right?
Oh yeah. This is excellent.
This is just one of those things that I just felt like it wasn't being tapped into.
Absolutely.
It wasn't being captured. Now, a lot of people may not know my resume, but I used to own this club called the Uptown Comedy Club.
Well,
right?
I was gonna say, first of all, we are fans of you guys.
Well, thank
So
you.
we
you so
are
much.
are incredible fans, and we are proud of you. And
Absolutely.
we are not undermining anything that you've done in the past. So we want you to talk about 30 Rock. We want to talk about your origin of
There was so
Uptown.
much we didn't know where to
We
go.
didn't even know
So
where to
much
start.
going on, we didn't know where to
We were
start.
like, because we are like fans of you. I saw him in the lobby. I didn't even know whether to say hi or not. But I just,
No, we
I kind of
love
know
that.
you. I said, I know who that is.
We love
But-
that because
So tell us,
because
yeah.
while we were doing 30 Rock, it wasn't really a black people show. It was really
Right,
a white people
absolutely.
show.
Right.
Like we can
Fact,
walk
they steal the
into
scene.
places.
We
Yes,
loved y'all.
but we
Stealing
can
scenes.
walk into places that are white events. And you would think Elvis just walked in the building. You know, they go crazy.
Wow.
But we can walk into our hoods and nobody have any idea who
Nobody
we
know
are.
who we are.
So, it's just one of those things that we observe. But what I was going to say was I used to own this club before 30 Rock called the Uptown Comedy Club. And that is where hip hop comedy was created, right? The first time the comedian was put with a DJ and hip hop music, and it changed the face of comedy, right?
Sure.
So it was one of those things where I recognize that in our culture there are things that we have that are our own, and we hesitate, or it's just there, and nobody ever elevates it, right? But just by none of us in this room grew up in the same place. We meeting each other for the first time, but that energy that we share comes from something that was common within our community, right? So that's what we're trying to
You got
organize.
a
and capture.
lot of passion for a lot of things. Ultimately,
Yeah.
what's the impact you want to have? What do you want your legacy to be?
It's funny. I just finished a book.
Congratulations.
It's called, thank you. It's called Entrepreneurhood. Right? It's what I realized I became while I'm maneuvering through this life. Right? And it's my way of giving back to the young people, because there's no handbook. There's no handbook as you maneuver through the game. You guys here, you're doing this great podcast, but there's nobody, or people are starting to put together the tips for the young folks, right? So I'm the national president of my fraternity, Sigma Phi Rho fraternity. I want to give a shout out to them. But I have young brothers who are in college, came into fraternity. They're young enough to be my sons, but they're my brothers.
Right.
And they know everything in their 20s, but they know nothing in their 20s, right? And when you're in your 20s and you're in college, and like the young man you were interviewing in football and whatever, you have no idea how much you don't know, right? And I feel like we have a responsibility. If you got a little gray hair in your beard, right? Gray hair on your head.
Who said little?
Thankfully, I don't have any yet.
I got plenty. I'll share some with
But
you.
if you have a little history in your resume, we have a responsibility to give back, to prepare our young people to maneuver through this game, because this game is changing now. This game in America is changing. You know, when we get pulled over by the cops, we knew we were making it home back in the day. Right? Nowadays, you get pulled over by the cops, and it's a life or death situation.
Yeah, true.
So as older men and older women with education, with positive energy, we have a responsibility to share our wisdom, share our knowledge, and point out the cheat codes in life. You know.
Where did you? Oh, I'm sorry, Queen.
No, and I think that's important about sharing your wisdom, but also I think another thing is it's important to sort of share what some of those challenges were, share some of those hurdles you had to overcome.
Yes.
I know when I was reading your bios, one of you, I believe it was you, spoke about how you sort of used your ambition to basically create a platform or entryway for yourself, right? So let's talk about with our young people, like how can they do that? How can they sort of capitalize on an opportunity? So for me, for example, I'm always telling my children, if someone asks you a question, don't just say, I'm okay, you know, sort of give them more of an explanation, start a conversation. So with that being said, what type of advice would you have for young people on, you know, opportunities and sort of how to, you know, capitalize that specifically because opportunities aren't equal for our young people?
Well, what I would suggest to the young people is just dream. You know, our people, we tend not to dream, and then our dreams keep us stagnant. We stay in those same places because we don't dream.
Right.
And if you're a writer, if you want to do film, whatever you want to do, just try it. You know what I'm saying? Write it down on a piece of paper. You can't. Don't tell yourself you can't write something until you do it.
Right.
Write it down on a piece of paper, and then get your friend or even do it by yourself and just film and just try it.
I'm gonna jump in with him on that one. And when you do dream, you have to watch the people you surround yourself with, because a lot of us are surrounded by dream killers,
Yes.
dream assassins, who tell you, oh no, you can't write a book.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't make no podcast. Oh, you can't be a DJ. You can't be an astronaut. You can't be a doctor.
You can't play spades.
You can't play spades.
You are not gonna get over that sitting at this table in high school. You are not gonna let that go.
But if you do find yourself around those people, eliminate those people, and not saying don't be friends with them,
Right.
but just don't tell them your dreams.
I'm saying don't be friends with them. Those people are bad
Pick your
news.
team. Pick
But
your
what
team
about those
carefully.
people that just sort of don't know any better, right? Because
There's a
I think
lot of that, too.
it's because the young man that was here before you guys talked about diversity. So a lot of people have only been exposed to the environments in which they've grown up in, so they don't know any better. So I think a lot of times with our families, it can be also be unintentional. So they can sort of just say it, oh, well, I don't think so. I remember once my mother told me, and she's going to kill me, but I'm going to say it here, there aren't any black like psychologists, you know, psychiatrists, because that's what I wanted to do, you know. And she found out later that it was sort of discouraging to me, and it wasn't purposeful, because she's always been my biggest supporter and biggest advocate. So how do we also teach them to distinguish?
You just got to keep pushing.
Yeah.
Don't take no for an answer.
Right.
You got to keep pushing, because even like with us, it's been times in the quote unquote the world, we would go into a table read, and everything on the table we said was funny, right? And then when it's time to film it, it ain't there. So what happens? You know what I'm saying? And I never forget. I'm not gonna say who it was, but this particular person said, and don't say who it is.
I'll say.
I know who said. This particular person said, "You guys get all the funny stuff." You know what I'm saying? And then I knew right then and there that it's politics.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? The whole room erupted when we said our lines and when we got down to what we had to say. And then when it was time to film, we get you get your dailies, and then you get like it's like a pink slip or a green slip or whatever the color is for the day. So you know it's changed once you get that slip. And then I go to look for the lines, and I go to look for his lines, and now they're gone.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it's replaced by me eating cereal or him doing something crazy walking out the door. You know
It
what I
sounds
mean?
like Curtis's conspiracy theory.
Where did you all develop your sense of responsibility? Because it really sounds like you gentlemen have a real sense of we're building something bigger than ourselves. What influenced you guys to think that way? Where'd you get it from?
Just growing up in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Just the hurdles that you come up against. You know what I'm saying? And don't get down on yourself, because you're gonna get doors closed in your face. People are gonna tell you no. again, like what I just discussed, things could be written one way, and then when it's time to read it, it's not there. Just got to keep pushing.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna add to that too. It was the hood, and it was our mothers.
Yeah.
Right? Our mothers never
too.
met each other. But there was a situation that happened on 30 Rock. So 30 Rock used to get nominated for a whole bunch of awards,
Sure.
right?
Big show.
It broke a record for getting 22 Emmy nominations and whatever, right? Wow. So we were on the show, and we were, we're just actors trying to keep our jobs. So 30 Rock got nominated for Screen Actors Guild Award. So we are at the Screen Actors Guild, me and Grizz, we're in our tuxedos, whatever, trying to fit in. Don't really feel like we belong because we look around and there's only like 9 black people in the whole out of the the sea of 1,000 people. So 30 Rock wins the Screen Actors Guild Award. So we all get up out our seats like they do on the award shows. We go to the stage, we get the applause, we go backstage, and there's an award for everybody in the cast except me and Grizz.
Wow. Heartbreaking.
Now, we were grown men on this show. We're looking at the table, and there's no award with our names on it.
Heartbreaking.
Now, we were just meeting, but we felt
Tears.
his heart was broken, my heart was broken, but we met on the show. We didn't have long history, but I felt like crying like a baby. I couldn't believe, and we grown men, but we big guys.
It was a tough moment.
And there was a moment. Yes, thank you.
The mother just can't
Let
stop.
me tell you something. There was a moment.
It was a real
where
tough moment.
we looked at each other and we could see our eyes watering up, and we felt like tearing up this whole
and we had to talk each other off the ledge.
Wow.
Tearing up this whole
had to talk each other off the
like
ledge.
we
Toss
big
it like a
dudes.
salad.
We big dudes, and we just won the award, and we knew if we started wrecking this whole award show, it would be a long time before they could stop us. First of all, so we do a lot of damage, but we would damage everything else.
Right.
Everything else.
Right.
And that was a moment. I believe that was the moment where we really clicked because we had to appreciate the lessons our mothers taught us.
Wow.
You know those lessons you learned when you were a kid?
Oh, yeah.
And we were just like, dude, we here. I think he called, I don't know who he called, but he called somebody important in his life.
Yeah,
and
it was
I called
tough.
someone important in my
tough.
life. But we were backstage like, how could they do this to us?
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
devastating,
I think
right?
the toughest, the hardest part of it was when you got to the table, everybody's name.
Yeah,
was
everybody's
written
name
down.
was on their
So
award, their trophy.
somebody consciously
Left us out.
left
Right,
us out.
right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And it was
wasn't
a
just a
wake-up call.
miscount.
No,
It was-
and it was a wake-up call
And
for us.
we were supposed to get one.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
Yes.
somebody purposely
Right.
left us out.
and
Who
we
it was,
and
I
we
don't
got to
know.
figure this out
You know what I'm
backstage, right? And it was one of those moments where we were both going through this. Nobody else in the room knew, and there's thousands of people. There's cameras. There's every
Now we got to do interviews.
every
we gotta
media
do-
outlet there,
Game face.
and
Yeah.
we got to put on the game face.
Yeah, we had to
and-
because we won.
and
So we
and
getting interviewed
not
from everybody.
and not embarrass the show,
Right,
not
right.
embarrass our families, not embarrass
Ourselves.
ourselves. This was
Not
tough.
embarrass
This was a
ourselves.
tough moment, and that was the moment we really bonded. Because we had to snap out of it. We had to snap ourselves out of it. And we really had like 3 minutes to get over it. Now, luckily, Tina Fey and Alec Baldwin had both won 2 awards that night. So when they realized what had happened, they at least were gracious enough. Tina gave him her award. Alec gave me his award. So now we're not walking around empty-handed,
Sure,
right?
Yeah.
So we were able to get through the night. So we were speaking to the producers trying to find out what's going on. Where's our awards? And they were trying to, sweep it under the rug. Oh, maybe Justin. Now, I told you how I am, right? I get this vision. Can't get it. So after it was over, I did my own personal investigation. I reached out to the Screen Actors Guild, and I
got us our awards.
got us our award.
There you go.
That was my
There
next
you go.
question.
Got us our award.
That's right.
We didn't get a chance to. We didn't get a chance to receive it in public with everyone.
but you got 'em.
But they engraved them and they mailed them to
Yeah.
the production office, and we got them like a week later.
Okay,
And
good.
that was just a moment that we shared with ourselves. But that painful moment. Now we both hard dudes. We Brooklyn, hood of Brooklyn, and the hood of the Bronx. We real
Right.
dudes. And we in the back of the Screen Actors Guild ready to cry.
Hurting.
Yeah. It was very helpful.
That was a moment for us.
And
That
it's
was a
just
moment.
it's just a material thing, but it's like all the hard work that we put in.
Yeah.
You actually won something, and we're not part of the win.
And if
Sure,
we had
sure.
made one wrong move that night, we could have ruined everything.
Yeah.
If we had made one wrong move. So that was one of those moments where the lessons that your parents instill in you, the lessons that your family instills in you, we really had to exercise it at that moment.
You
Because
hear
that
your
was
mother
tough.
say, "Don't embarrass me."
Yeah, that was tough.
Don't you embarrass me.
That was a tough one. But that's where it came from. That thing that the stuff your parents instill in you, the stuff we instill in our kids. You know, I believe they hear it.
Absolutely.
I believe they hear it because we heard it. We heard it.
I could imagine the communication between your eyes when you looked at one another.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was tough.
I mean, I know
It was tough.
you went back to like the ancestors. Like
Yeah.
you
Nah,
went back to
it's-
Crispus Attucks,
it
like
was-
looking at one another.
very,
Not really being
very,
funny. I mean, like
very-
you looked at one
nah,
another like,
it was tough.
What?
Because
You know?
we looking at all our peers and everybody that's not
Right.
our color, and it's like how, and we are a huge part of the show. It's not like in the beginning we it was a little part, because I remember, I never forget, one night I was getting a tattoo. I don't know exactly where he was. We get a call. Yo, you got to get down here right now. Y'all got to get down here right now because Ghostface got sick and he couldn't finish his scene or whatever. So they wrote a scene just for me and him. We fly down to 30 Rock, and this is like at 11 o'clock at night, 11:30. We won an award for that show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The show that they wrote for us, we won an award for that show.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So we were a huge part of that show, but it just, unfortunately, it's just, it is what it was. You know what I'm saying?
He's
Just-
being diplomatic.
I have to.
okay, don't say who it was
No,
now.
I'm not gonna
Don't
say any names.
If
I'm
I
not gonna
don't,
say any
he-
names, but
oh my God.
but this is a lesson. This is a lesson that
Still
you
got
learn
some
in
future.
life.
You got some roads ahead of you.
This is a
that's
lesson
what
you
I'm trying to
learn in
explain
life.
to you.
This is the breakdown and lesson you learn in life. These half-hour sitcoms, they're 30 minutes long. So they have their level of commercials. So it's basically a 21-minute episode, right? And the other 7 minutes is for commercials. So there's, in that 21 minutes, the cast can only get but so many lines, right? So you see the faces of the people that are at the beginning of the show. And they're supposed to have the lines. Their faces
Top
are at the
6.
opening of the show, right?
Top 6.
Every time two guys like us get more lines, we found out later we're taking lines from someone else. So we didn't come in knowing that, right? We didn't come in knowing that we were creating a threat.
Right.
But in that 21 minutes, we're used to getting 1 or 2 lines. Now we have 7 or 8 lines. Now we have 12 or 13 lines. Every time you give us a few more lines, someone has to make a decision that person is getting a few less lines, right? And then when they write a whole episode about us, then that person's not on the episode at all.
Wow.
So we're being put in a situation where we're a threat and don't even know it,
Yeah, you were pissing people
right?
off.
We had no idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Just doing your thing.
We just here
We
trying
just
to
doing funny.
we
Yeah.
just trying to be
Making funny.
hey, let's play spades. So
How
yeah,
much?
go ahead.
How much of what you guys brought to 30 Rock came from the two of you? Because they kind of had you guys in there with like one line,
A lot.
and all of a sudden
Well,
you're growing and growing.
What I've noticed over the years, what they would do was the writers would watch us.
Yeah, they're spies.
So like during lunch, during the hallways, during meetings, during passing, whatever, they'll just pay attention to us and then they'll write that way.
They're-
and they'll see how
They're
we
standing
interact.
around and they're listening to our normal conversation.
Wow. Okay.
Because there was a time when I started playing Sudoku. So we were in the dressing room. We're just everybody's like,
they
"What
put
you
it in
doing?"
there,
And I'm
and they
playing.
put it in
Remember,
episode.
Sudoku was the
Yeah.
hot thing for a minute. I'm sorry, I hit the mic.
Still on my phone.
Yeah. Okay. So I
What you
started
say
play-
sorry for?
I hit the mic.
Oh,
thing,
okay.
But Sudoku was a hot thing, and I'm playing Sudoku, and I'm telling them, "Oh yeah, there's this game, numbers, Sudoku, da 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 da." But we were just talking amongst us, having fun. A couple weeks later, Sudoku was in the episode. So when we started noticing things like that, we realized their writers are hanging around just listening to our normal thing, and they're getting inspired by just our normal
being
conversation.
who you are.
But we weren't. We didn't even know this was
Isn't that
happening.
how it
So-
always is?
Yeah.
So there were so many things about their creative process. That whole crew came from the SNL background.
Sure.
It was all
Sure.
comedy, whatever.
Yeah.
So SNL, they're all from the improv world.
Right.
You plant the seed and you build on the thing. So, but these were all things that we learned after being there.
Sure,
we were
sure.
we were learning on the job.
Yeah.
Like when he said we went to a table read. He was telling a story. We went to a table read or a read through or whatever. I remember when they first invited me to the table read, I didn't even know where I was going. I didn't know what a table read was, but that's where they write this. They write the episode, and the script is presented for the first time, and the whole cast is sitting there, and we're reading our lines.
Wow.
But we literally were learning on the job because, you know, we both had separate relationships with Tracy Morgan, but our energy was real. You know, when we got around each other, it was so magnetic, it was so electric, and they loved that energy that they just wanted to keep trying to capture
won awards.
Yeah,
They won awards.
They wanted to keep trying to capture
Everybody
it.
likes winners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of winners, first we want to say thank you for coming on the show and sharing with us your experience.
Thank you for
at
having
30
us.
Rock.
Thank you for having us.
You know, this is incredible. You guys, I mean, it was beyond just watching you guys just have fun. You were a pinpoint of many of us watching that show.
Absolutely.
When we watched the show, we knew we was going to see great entertainment with you two, as well as Mr. Morgan on the show.
Yes.
And Black Men on
And
Prime Time on
Black
the
Men on
network. That's a
Yeah.
big deal. That's a big
winning
deal.
and winning from it
That's
too,
a
right?
big deal.
So, you know, we have a little treat for you. Our young man, this young man next to me, he's kind of talented, and he wants to just show you, you know, what he could do.
Okay.
So let's rock out.
Okay.
His name is D Nasty, by the way. D Nasty,
right.
the master.
This beat up right here.
Kev Brown, Grizz Chapman. This ain't a rerun, but this is what's happening. So you already know D Nasty, lyric assassin. Break down what y'all said and make it happen. But understand that I'm an ill figure. Not the best in space, but you never call me a re-nigga. But understand that I'm coming through and leaving them hooked. And I ain't never ever cutting the books, but I can learn the lesson. We can all grow from it. You know, do like a bomb, 3, 2, 1, blow from it. But understand I flip it like judo. And I'ma take you up on that order because I'm real nice at Uno. But understand that I come through, I'm hardcore. Like Monday Night Wrestling, the boys just raw. But I can come through, put it in reverse, skip these cats and draw for a wild card, that's for sure. I'm the one. D Nasty, lyrical master, doing what I have to do. Never ever been an actor, but I gotta just do it big B. I was dropping jewels, it's like the lesson of the fig tree up in the Bible. And that information was vital to really ever earning a title. But understand that I do it here, I'm never scared. Got a little bit of history, gray hairs in my beard, I had to pull them out. I'm only 26, but understand that I'm coming from the mothership. But I ain't never ever talking all that other ish. But understand what I'm saying, yeah, you're loving this. And best believe that I gotta burn it. You used to work at Sue's Rendezvous. I'm also coming from Mount Vernon, Gramerton, you was on Park Avenue, I lived on. But understand this is the plateau I spit on. And right now I'm on East 4th, but I never fall off course. Lyricist, yes, of course. And yeah, I'm coming through with it. And best believe that I gotta stay committed. You know that I'm coming through up in the dirty spot. I can see else move, you work for 30 Rock. But I rock it like Pete, that's Chocolate Boy and Wonder #1. Understand that I'm far from troublesome, but I'm just honoring y'all and soaking up the information because this is part of my vocation. But understand that I'm coming through with the rhyme. These verses, they gon' worship like it's a shrine. But this is coming all up in the mind. It's God's cipher divine. I flip flows, one of a kind. But I come through, never ever ever wanna shank you. 2 black men, that's ill with it, and I gotta say thank you. I was supposed to end right there, but I almost went off of my square. That's why I went a few bars on to just keep on speaking. And the community, y'all gonna keep on reaching. Let's go.
He never disappoint. He never disappoint.
Oh! I'm not easily impressed, man. I used to be an MC. I'm from the projects in the Bronx, and I seen it all. I'm from my Haven Project in the Bronx. I'm not easily impressed, but that was impressive.
That's the only way to go out of a segment this powerful. We're so grateful to have you brothers here sharing what you're doing. One more time, where can they find out about the Spades events?
Spades
Real
Fest,
quick.
go to YouTube, subscribe, and follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Original Spades Fest, Twitter, Original Spades Fest TV. Everything is Spades Fest. Just type in
Just
Spades
find them,
Fest.
find them.
We gonna pop up, and we're looking for the best players, the ones that we looking for, the players that make other players hate playing, and the Uno's Invitational. Don't forget
It's coming. Uno's coming.
Not only are we
Uno's,
looking for the best ones, but we're looking for people that's charismatic. You know, that got
Bring some swag to the table.
some energy,
Oh, yeah,
some
yeah,
fun.
that's
You
important.
know,
So if you like to talk trash, they looking for you.
Exactly.
Just back
Yes,
it up.
yes.
We want to thank you, brothers, once again.
Thank you for having
CapBrown.com. We want to thank Grizz. We thank you guys. Thank you for all you've done, and thank you for what you're doing right now. We're going to roll on out of here right now.